And we're live. We're live from Cass County, Michigan, here on a beautiful April morning. I would say beautiful because it's warm. And although I am battling what appears to be some very aggressive mice who insist on rooting through my potato chips in the middle of the night, forcing me to be on the defensive. I'm getting through all that, although the rain is starting again. I was sort of hoping that would chill for the day. I do have some yard work to do before the landowner gets here. But I wanted to go over something today really quick. It's going to be a quick live. I was at a cannabis dispensary a few days ago in a town called Three Rivers, Michigan. There are several. I won't say which one. And was talking to a young man about a case that he had heard of involving somebody named Brittan Shank, who was abducted from a car accident in 2018, November. She was 23 years old. Shows up at a neighbor's house, no shoes, no socks, bleeding from the feet, no coat. November 30th, again, 9 p.m., it's dark. Out here, and I say out here because I'm close to Sturgis. So I think that's what sort of piqued my interest about this. Now, after looking at a few articles on this case, I realized that actually, I do believe Sleuth Intuition went over this case on one of his True Crime in the Morning shows. That would have been, Jesus, probably a couple years ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And it compelled me then, and I just didn't remember that the details now brought it so close to, home, if you will, for me, locality-wise. And it's somewhat enigmatic case, so I thought I'd just start out today by playing a 3-minute news clip as I'm slowly learning how to integrate media into the show. I thought it would be a good opportunity to do that, and we're going to go ahead and attempt to do that now so I can give you a little background properly on this case. Give me one moment.
It's been nearly 6 years since a Sturgis mother was last seen after her car crashed into a ditch. Tonight, investigators say they have new details in this case. The mother's legal name is Brittan Shank, but her sister says that for most of her life, she went by Brittney Nicole Wallace. And tonight, a chilling 911 call details her last known recorded contact. News Channel 3's Princess Janae Steverson joining us live in the studio. And Princess, investigators had more than just this phone call tonight.
They did, according to the St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office. They're also releasing the sketch of a man. They believe this is the last person to have seen Brittan Shank alive. And many are wondering why now. According to a press release, it's because police say they have exhausted every possible resource when trying to find Shank. Take a look at this sketch. It was released Monday afternoon by the St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office. It's of a man that police think was the last person to have been with 23-year-old Brittan Shank of Sturgis, Michigan. Police didn't say who he is or his connection to Shank.
I guess it's on Fawn River.
Okay, do you have an address on Fawn River?
Here's the guy.
And this is a newly released 911 recording of the man police say was a part of the last known recorded contact with Shank.
Yeah, this is 911. What's the address that you're at?
Listen closely as a 911 dispatcher tries to make sense of what's happening.
Can you tell me what's going on there tonight?
Oh, I don't know. The girl just came to the back door and she had no shoes on, no coat. She's bleeding on her feet, her arms.
What you've been hearing is a portion of her disappearance that occurred on November 30th, 2018. Deputies say Shank's car crashed into a ditch along Fawn River Road, and then after that, she made her way to a nearby resident's home to call 911. Then it seems as though something happened to frighten Shank. She took off before the cops could get to her.
Come back in here.
Tell her that help's coming. If you can, tell her that the help is coming down that way. I just need her to stay there if she wants assistance.
It's been nearly 6 years since Shank vanished, but her family and several agencies have not stopped looking for her. This is her mother, Jessica Wolf. News Channel 3 spoke with her on the 4-year anniversary of Shank's disappearance while she was handing out flyers.
Awareness of it is crucial. It's to keep her face out there and to keep her face in the public.
And Shank's brother, Victor Carter, who said last year that at this point in the investigation, he'd prefer police deem his sister's case a homicide.
Then they could potentially get the FBI involved, where they can bring in their forensics team, they can bring in their interviewers, and we can continue to progress the case even more.
Up until now, it appears police have never had any witnesses or suspects in the missing persons case. And again, that's 0 leads over time, even with the collaborations of other crime-fighting organizations and agencies alongside dozens of searches.
I'm Andy Dominiani. Thanks for watching. If you like this video,
pretty chilling stuff. I hope you guys could hear that. That's a new way for me to bring media to the show. So obviously I can hear it here in the studio, but I really don't think anyone's watching, and that's okay. This literally just said, I'm just going to go live with this. I just looked it up as we were speaking, basically minutes before I went live. Find it really strange. You go to a neighbor's, the neighbor's the last one to see her, yet there was a boyfriend with her in that vehicle. She said he took off after the accident. So damn weird. I have another piece here to share. Hang on a moment. All right, here we go. So, okay, St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office released 2 pieces of evidence related to the 2018 disappearance of 23-year-old Brittan Shank as they continue their investigation. The 911 call and a sketch of a man who investigators believe was the last known person to have been with her. Shank, a Sturgis mother, went missing November 30th, 2018 in the area of Fawn River Road, near Workman Road in Fawn River Township around 9 p.m., according to deputies. In the 911 call, which was received on the day she went missing, Shank can be heard speaking with a neighbor whose house she had shown up to, asking for help after she had gotten into a car wreck. She was not wearing any socks or shoes. Neighbor told dispatch she was bleeding from her feet and arms, but was having trouble communicating with her as to what kind of help she needed from police. Shank told the neighbor that she was with her boyfriend at the time of the crash, but that he had taken the car and left the scene, according to the 911 call. Okay. So here we go. According to the call, he takes the car after a single car accident, after a multi-car. I mean, was it something? There are a lot of dirt roads around here. I say around here again. Sturgis is in my sphere of, where I live, and I believe it's just off U.S. Highway 12, which is only a few miles south of my location, and then it'd be over, maybe 15 miles. But again, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so I consider it one of, like, when I look up, mom and pop pizza shops that I want to try out. I mean, that's definitely in my sphere of where I would drive to get dinner. So it's not that far away. So it just is interesting to me. And I find, the case is just, to me, it's like you're in a car wreck. You even make it to a neighbor's. Now, what kind of condition was the boyfriend in if she walks off in the first place? Where was the wreck? Did anybody see it almost makes me want to drive to this location and record that and just see what that looks like on foot. In fact, I may do that. I have to go get firewood today and so forth. And prepare some things for the property out here. Since we do have a little reprieve with the weather. I don't know. It's interesting, you guys. We'll go back and finish this article up, and then I'll be done with it. I'm not going to stay on too long, as I just wanted to sort of pop on and get this out there and put it back in the public sphere, if nobody has talked about it in a while, and if anybody had any kind of details that I'm not covering, maybe they could fill that in the comment section afterwards. More than welcome to do that. That's always open. Let's see. As a neighbor was speaking with dispatch, he could be heard telling Shank to come back here before he appeared to lose contact with her. Now, how do you lose contact with a girl who's just been in a car accident? You know the lay of your own land from your back door out to your yard and so forth. You know where the nooks and crannies are at, especially an old man like this. How do you lose contact with a girl with no socks, no shoes, bleeding from her feet after a car accident on your rural property? Let's put that in the question book there, fella. During the call, the neighbor could be heard saying, in part, quote, the girl just came to the back door. She didn't have no shoes on, no coat, bleeding down to her feet. Her arms said her boyfriend took off somewhere. He got the car and took off somewhere, I guess. She just told me she needed help. So that comes out in the call, but did she say that? Or is that something he said only, that the boyfriend took off with the car? Because so far, I haven't heard where she has said that anyone else was with her. In addition, that doesn't mean it's not coming up. In addition to the two pieces of evidence released Monday, the St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office also provided a list of things investigators have done towards this case. Really piss poor writing on WWMT's part, but that's all right. They're a Sinclair operation, and we know how they are. Saying that they have utilized every available resource at their disposal. Bullet point 1, collaborated with Michigan State Police, utilizing their available resources, equipment, and expertise. Ongoing meetings have led to a collective agreement that the most appropriate agency to continue investigating the case is indeed the St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office, as the agency with the most knowledge of the elements of this case. Leverage the partnership with Western Michigan University, cold case program, of course, from my hometown in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I even one time met the coroner for Western Michigan University, who takes care of all of Southwest Michigan, as coroners do not work for hospitals. They are independent contractors, or at least they are in this area. He saw I was having a bad day, and he came over to me and gave me his card. This is an odd kind of story. It was so weird. I was having car trouble, and he could just tell by the look on my face. He said, here's my card. Don't end up on my table. And I looked down at the card, and it said coroner's office. Anyways, I don't want to even go into how I'll start crying if I think about that. Leverage the partnership with WMU's cold case program, facilitated by Michigan State Police, which devoted hundreds of hours of time to digitize and organize the case file for investigators, and ultimately help to provide timelines and categories, subjects listed within the case file. Okay, bullet point number 3. Organized dozens of searches using both traditional and non-traditional investigative techniques, including ground searches, aerial surveys, ground penetrating radar, cadaver dogs, Sheriff's Office mounted division, and the Sheriff's Office dive rescue team, because there are not a shortage of odd and mysterious and multiply numerous bodies of water in this area. I thought Kalamazoo had bodies of water. And when I say, I mean county, not city. As opposed to as you head south of there. But it must come to more of a point than that right here where I'm at, because not only am I in a swamp, everything around me is in the fucking swamp. There's a lake around every corner, and I can tell this whole area that I live in is about to explode with RVs and tourism and all kinds of lively recreation on lakes. I guess it'll bring its own positives and negatives. I'm sure it's a huge economic driving engine for this entire area here at off of M60 in Michigan. Anyways, bullet point number 3. Okay, we went through that dive team. And then the final one, encountered challenges, including individuals withholding encountered challenges. I'm going to slow down on this, so I'm interpreting it properly. Encountered challenges, including individuals withholding or providing incorrect, incomplete statements. Individuals with an S, more than one, and some witnesses have passed away. Oh, wow. You guys, this is a mysterious case. News Channel 3, Sinclair owned, We Know Your Game, spoke to some of Shank's family members in 2023 who, at the time, felt her case should be investigated as a homicide. I mean, of course. Sorry, I just woke up. I've been a smoker a long time, guys. Let me get a little coffee down here. Hang on. Oh, boy. That was delish. Best instant cup of coffee in town. I don't live in a town, but anyways. They're still investigating this as a missing persons case. How in the fuck? Excuse my language, my frank language on this Friday morning. When the situation calls like it does, a girl shows up, bloody feet, bloody arms, no coat, no shoes, in November after a car accident. Where's this boyfriend? Who is this neighbor? Is he one that passed away? What the fuck is going on here? This is ridiculous. Why would it be considered missing persons case? It should have immediately been investigated as a potential homicide and or abduction case, which would have brought in the FBI, at least in terms of abduction. If being as close to the Indiana border as we are, one could assume that it possibly was interstate. Okay, which would then allow the FBI to come in. And Michigan's, typically, as far as from the state police, is not like the South. Like, we actually like the FBI helping us. Unlike the South, who see it as an intrusion onto their smarts from the North. Fucking corn pones. At this point, the Western Michigan working super hard. At this point, with Western Michigan, that'd be WMU, working super hard. St. Joe County still working. I think the next step would be to consider Britt a no-body homicide. That makes sense. Because with a no-body homicide, at that point, you can bring in additional resources. Boom, I think I just said that. Reading this for the first time. They could potentially get the FBI involved where they can bring in their forensics. I guess the kid did say that in the interview. Her brother. I call him a kid. He just didn't look like a kid, but I'm old. They can bring in their interviewers and, we can continue to progress the case even more. Okay, yeah, it's just re-quoting what he said there. Victor Carter, Brittany Shank's brother, said. We're fully committed to this case and remain dedicated to finding a resolution, Under Sheriff Jason Bingaman said. Bingaman is asking anyone with new or unreported information. I'd add in there, even if you had the same information but never reported it, report that anyways. Don't put it on your own opinion as to what is what's already been, that's already been reported. I don't need to say anything because you're an additional witness to something that is corroborating. So yes, even if you feel that it's been reported, whatever information you have, report that information, Detective Sergeant Jason Otten, at area code 269-467-9045, extension 227, or by email at Otten, AUTONJ, at stjosephcountymichigan.org. That's STJOSEPH countymi.org, period. Do it. So here we are. We hope the best for Miss Shank's family. We want resolution. This was a short episode, you guys. I just wanted to get that out there. We may revisit this again. Had I had comments in the comment section, I would have read them. But look, no one's beckoning on my every call. I hope you do go back and watch this though in the replay. I hope you find it interesting, and I hope that if anybody from that community of this poor woman that's missing, presumed, possibly something terrible happened. Just thanks for checking it out and passing it along. I mean, I think like Mr. Steve from True Crime Web said when I was asking him one time, what are we really doing here? He said about the most thing an amateur like I could do was basically, to paraphrase, bring awareness to it. It's greatly appreciated. And that's what I'm hoping that I'm doing here today with this short episode. Thanks, everybody. Have a good afternoon. We may see you later. We may not. I'm kind of loose. But we will see you soon. And y'all take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great Friday. I'm seeing that the sun now is coming out. It's supposed to be nearly 80 degrees here today in Michigan. Certainly the warmest day of the year so far, and I'm going to get out there and enjoy it and try to get a little bit of yard work done. Thanks, you guys. Peace.